Jeffrey's watched all these videos on confidence, but he still walks around like that. Come on, Jeffrey. Head up, shoulders back, you know the drill. But it's just not working. As much as he tries to do all of the body language and the eye contact hacks, he has a deeper inner cause for his lack of confidence. And what is the root cause of a lack of confidence? Incompetence. Jeffrey just needs to become more skilled. Adonis sees young Jeffrey struggling and he knows exactly what advice to offer to him. Master social skills. So in a previous video, I talked about the concept of like choosing a skill that you wanted to go all in on. And it was under the realm of more like financially, you know, to make money from and to contribute to people. But I think one of the skills that everyone should be mastering is like social skills. Things like persuasion, charisma, presence, warmth, the skills we use when we're talking to people. People skills are probably some of the most important. And in fact, in terms of making money, if you don't have like one of those like marketable skills like sales or being able to create content or anything, but you just have awesome people skills, like to the point that you can just be warm to people, to everyone you meet and get them to like you, you'll still become a very rich man. It's very interesting. Now, if you mix the people skills with like a nice skill that makes a lot of money, like for example, writing or whatever, then it's like best case scenario. So this is exactly how I leveled up my social skills, because I used to be really awkward, and I'm definitely not like perfect right now. I still make like a fuck ton of mistakes. Sometimes I like stutter when I talk to people. There's been times when I'll say someone's name and it's the wrong fucking name and it's a bit embarrassing. But I've made so much progress from how I used to be as like quite like a lonely teenager in high school. Let me tell you the story, right? So I'm in college at this point. Like this is like end of year of high school for us in the UK, kind of like before university. I'm playing like League of Legends. I'm like, you know, that kind of kid. And I play with the guys from my college as well. So I walk into college like in this morning at like 8 a.m. and my friend group is sat there. And I sat down and the first thing that I said to my friend was, Vel'Koz has just been released. Vel'Koz was like this new champion of like the game, you know, like a new software update, whatever came out for this game that we were all playing. And I said that because it was like the thing that was on my mind. And my friend kind of looked at me and he went, good morning to you too. And that's when I realized like, oh shit, like I'm actually like a social autist. Instead of saying hello, how are you? And in the UK we say like, you all right. Instead of at least even saying something that was just like a normal pleasantry, I jumped straight into like informing them of like the newest update in the game that we played. And then years later, it's like, you know, my work, my skill is people skills. It's just my ability to just convince people of the idea that I'm giving out here. So I've made huge progress, and this is exactly how I made progress in my social skills. I read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, but I didn't read it like everyone else. I didn't start reading it and then, you know, read it for like an hour, then read another hour tomorrow, and then, you know, finish the book and try and use it. I would read it for literally a few minutes, get an idea from one of the chapters, so it said like smile or, you know, ask for people's names and remember the names, and I would stop reading it as soon as I had the idea. And I promise you this is true. I would close the book, go outside onto the street and go and try and use it with a stranger immediately. I'm not even gonna lie to you, that's probably stuff I wouldn't even do right now, just because of, you know, how like much friction there is to like reading and stopping reading, going outside and speaking to a stranger. You can imagine how difficult that is. Like, it sounds easy to say, but really imagine if you did that. Really imagine you read something and it was like, okay, you have to go outside to speak to someone. It feels like, you know, a little bit scared, really a little bit awkward, right? But that's what I did, and I swear I made such fast progress. I went from feeling so awkward to actually getting used to talking to strangers. Like, if you were here in person with me right now, like imagine if me and you were friends, we were hanging out, I promise you, I think you'd be so impressed by my social skills. You'd be observing the kind of conversations I get into. You'd be like, wow, like he just feels like he's so comfortable, like everywhere he goes, he's getting into little funny conversations with people. He's making like the old woman laugh, you know, he's like flirting with like the old woman and everything. Like, you'd see that, you'd be like, fuck yeah, Hamza, like you really practice what you preach. And I'm telling you, this is just because I took that action. So I know this is not an easy action step at all, but it's all about like reading a bit of knowledge about social skills and then practicing it as soon as possible. So here's exactly what you can do. You can go and get the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, but you can also just go watch like videos. Like if you search like Hamza social skills on YouTube or Hamza How to Win Friends and Influence People, I've done like videos where I kind of break down the best principles I learned, so you can just watch the video if you don't want to read. But the most important thing thing though is not just watching, but it's waiting till you get like some kind of insight and then going as fast as possible to go and use it on someone. It's not about you watching it all whilst like you eat your food thinking, oh yeah, I'll do this tomorrow, I'll do this tomorrow. It's like that uncomfortable thing of like you're watching it, you get one tip that sticks into your mind, you pause the video and you go use it on like your mother right away, and you like smile whilst you talk to her, something like that. That's the hard step, but it is so powerful.